Welcome to episode number 72 of the Eavesdrop podcast. This week is brought to you by DoorDash, Full Sail University. We had the optic van incident there, no championship. And Hymns, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them later on today. For now, we're going to say hello to my little brother, Mr. Billy MentaL. Mental.
Man, I'm excited to be on here. It's been a while since I've been in the Hecz quarters.
Dude, you're on everybody's mouth in the last 2 weeks. Obviously, I don't need you to confirm or deny or anything about that. We're just here to talk about you and your path and your ultimate tweet that said that you were going to be moving to Call of Duty and what led to such a decision. We have 3 trophies right here. Another one up there because it couldn't fit, and then like 3 more over there. I just want to prove a point. You know, you're no slouch. This is a man that's been competing. Not just competing, but winning. A winning mentality, a winning history. So it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that you have had that much of you've been on a lot of people's mouths. Not mouths, but minds, and with good reason. Obviously, you made a tweet, and you pretty much said that. What did you say in the tweet?
I had 2 tweets, like about a week or 2 apart. First one saying I'm considering it. Depending if I get an offer or just gonna feel out Call of Duty for like a couple weeks. And then the second one, which was about a week or 2 ago, I mentioned that I was making the full switch.
Yeah.
And that was before I even got an offer or anything. I just said, like, why not? I'm gonna just take that chance. You know what I mean? So that's ultimately I'm at right now.
Very cool. Let me ask you this: have you been playing Call of Duty?
I have been. I played a lot of the Black Ops 4 when it came out. I played some WW2 when it came out. Even now, the last month, I've been grinding like every single day, just clocking a lot of hours.
In what sort of are you playing like 10s? Are you playing 8s now, right? Are you playing 8s? Are you playing Warzone? What sort of Call of Duty are you playing?
For the most part, Chows, which would be like just money 8s, wagers, S&Ds, respawns, everything. I recently just played a Hecz throwback as well. But we have like a group DM I have with some Gears friends and Halo friends that are all trying to make the switch as well. So we've just been grinding together and playing a lot of challenges and just wages and tournaments, honestly. And
before Gears, what was your first game? What game did you start playing? What was the one game that you played? Did you play Call of Duty in the past, like Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty? Like how back do you go?
I've played all the Call of Duties for the most part. It's just, Black Ops 4 is the one I probably grinded the most. I put a lot of hours into that when it came out the first 3 months. And then after that, I didn't really play. But honestly, Black Ops 4 would probably be the most grinded game I have right now. I like to think I'm pretty decent at all the Call of Duties, even WW2. So I might play the WW2 throwback as well. I'm still thinking about it. But honestly, just Black Ops 4 I've been grinding a lot. And that's the game I'm still playing in the offseason right now.
Got it. All right, so let's start from the very beginning. How old are you?
22.
22. Where are you from originally?
St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis, Missouri. Paint Louis is what us graffiti writers used to call it. Paint Louis.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're 22. When did you start gaming? When was like your start?
8 years old. Honestly, 8 years old. I started playing a lot of Gears War 1, Call of Duty 3, Halo 1, all that. So I started when I was like 8, and that honestly, like 90% of the days since I started playing video games, I've probably played every single day.
When you started, you said Gears of War was Gears of War 1 your first introduction to video games or online gaming?
Yes, it was.
Online gaming?
Halo 1, yeah.
When you were 8 years old?
Yeah.
And how did you compare to other people that you were playing online?
It was random, but my older brother kind of just handed me the controller one time, and I got like 3 kills with the sniper on canals in Gears 1. I was like, I kind of like this game, so I picked it up from there, and that was like the first game I played, and it just, everything came together. Like I started playing other games, Halo, Call of Duty, like just Nintendo games, Super Smash, all that.
And you had the same sort of aim, like you had this sort of I don't want to call it gift yet, because it did obviously become into a gift. But was it something that you immediately said, oh, I'm kind of above average at this thing, that I feel like I can just... When you're good at something, it makes you want to play it, or it makes you want to do it that much more. Just simply because you're good at it, and you want to get better at it. And
That's true.
People say that video games are addicting. They're not. It's how good you are at a specific video game that makes you want to play it over and over and over again. That can be confused for addiction. How were your parents with you playing? And were you clocking in a lot of hours, or was it just?
Honestly, my parents weren't too thrilled about it because I was a pretty good athlete growing up, baseball and all that. I played travel, like I would go to different states. I was really good. So
just baseball?
Yeah, baseball. And then I even switched schools to play football, but a lot of stuff happened from that, so I just went to full-on gaming. But, I mean...
what age were you? Like in high school, 16, 17?
Just around there, yeah.
Yeah?
In the middle school, start of high school.
Were you playing in like actual competitions yet? Like LAN events, tournaments?
For gaming, 15 for Gears of War UE. I think I was 16 maybe. But yeah, it was around that age I started going to my first events.
And how did those turn out?
My very first one, major, we won. It was with Solars, Explosive, and Lava, I believe. And
How old were you?
15 or 16.
Really?
It's hard to keep track sometimes. Yeah.
So 15 and 16, and you won your first major, and it was in Gears. Old teammate Solars, who's it? Lava.
And
Lava T1.
Explosive.
I remember. That was
Yeah.
an Explosive. So you've been playing with Explosive for the longest time.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah, we even started playing Call of Duty together in AW. And that's when we actually started teaming. And then when Gears of War UE came out, that's when we became like real teammates. So it's been a while.
So your path, obviously, to where you're at today, was it, when you say your parents were not happy because you were a good athlete, how did you convince them to let you do this thing? Was it something where you're like, look at my scoreboard, or look at these checks that I'm winning?
Honestly, I think my teammates were in the same boat as me, like the one we won the first major. Going into the game, we were like, we're probably not going to travel for this game. If we win these first couple online tournaments that give us good money, maybe our parents will let us, and maybe we can use that money to go to the event.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we did, and we even won that first event. So once I got like a real paycheck, like these thousands coming in from the first event, my parents were...
How much was it?
I think it was like $6,000 each.
$6,000 each.
It wasn't
at
too
16 years old.
Yeah. So like at the time they're like, okay, this is real.
Yeah.
And then like Gears just kept announcing more prizings and like bigger prize pools, and like it just got more real and real like as time went. And yeah, by the time I was 18, I moved down here, and the circuit got even bigger, like $3 million or $2 million.
Yeah.
So
down here, you mean
Texas.
Were you here before us, or is it 3 years since you've been here?
3 years since I've been here. I moved at 18, so going on 4.
So you're 22 at 16. It's been 6 years since your career truly began, and you've gone down this path where you've sort of solidified yourself as the best, if not one of the best, Gears of War player. Not because anybody handed that to you, but because through your aim and abilities, you were able to successfully repeat over and over and over the things that you've done. How many total championships have you had call it in your entire career, if you can?
22 majors. 22 majors.
22 majors. How many does Scump have? 24? Let me look in the meantime. So that's no joke, right? Obviously, you're at the top, and whether or not there's viewership for your particular esport or not, it doesn't matter. The competition is the competition, and 28. So Scump has 28. Crim6 is at 35, I believe, or 32, something along those lines. So you're close to those numbers, right? Obviously, if you look at Ogre. What is it, Tom Ryan Ogre? Like if you look at him, he's up there too in terms of championships in Halo, and everybody respects that, and everybody follows that, and everybody's like, yeah, that's one of the goats of console esports because he won that much. You have sort of already gotten there in 6 years. You're 22 now, and you've sort of solidified yourself in this, like as I just mentioned, as one of the best, if not the best. And now you have decided to make the transition to a different esport. A lot of people have done that before you. Some of them have succeeded. Some of them have, the majority of them have not. I always forget about Enable, so I'm going to say Enable first. Enable was one of the first. I think Formal was the first one. Then Enable. Who else? Crim6 did it very, very early on. And obviously now you. And if I'm forgetting anybody, I apologize. Shotzi, and Hook, right? So yeah, I forget a lot of people. I apologize. My brain's old. Neither here or there. So once you've seen these dudes switch from their esport to this one, did you say like if they can do it, I can do it too?
I mean, I don't really look at other people and like base like what they can do is what I can do. I kind of just like know what I'm capable of. You know what I mean? So I guess it's a mindset I have. I feel like I've just been really good at Call of Duty, and it's like one of the games where like year by year I watch like COD Champs or something after like a year's event with the team, and I'm just like, I wish I was in those moments, like those clutch situations. They just something about it, you know, it's just like bigger and all that. So honestly, that's where I'm at with that. I mean, honestly, I just have a lot of faith in myself.
Yeah. I mean, you have a good track record. Now, what makes you say, right? Because obviously the Halo kids that came over, they are playing a first-person shooter. You come from a third-person shooter perspective, where it's obviously completely different than what we've been playing lately, right? Or that we play in Call of Duty. Was that a hard transition for you to sort of figure out, or was it easier?
Honestly, it just came natural. I don't really see anything like different from it, honestly. Like going from third person to first person, it doesn't really matter to me. Like my off time when I play Gears of War, I usually play first person shooters. Like if it's CS, Valorant, like just all kind of battle royale games, and then like Call of Duty, and then Halo. I play them all. So honestly, it just feels the same to me. Yeah.
So you go from seeing your character and your character's movements and actually seeing your guy be, you know, wall bouncing or doing whatever, to in a first person perspective where your gun's the only thing you're seeing. No difference. It's just point and click.
Literally no difference for me. I swear. I mean, if anything, third person feels weirder to me.
Now it does, or
well, no, just in general. Like I play a lot of games, and it's like I play less Gears than. Yeah, I play a lot more first person than third person, even when I compete at the highest level in Gears.
Yeah. So Gears of War, obviously you're very accomplished in it. You won us. I mean, obviously they're here. You won us a lot of championships. I can't ever thank you for that. Obviously, like you guys represented my brand to the most perfect way that you could have. Right? Not only were you guys good kids, but also you exemplified what it means to be a champion. Explosive is one of my favorite people in this world. You're one of my favorite people in this world, just simply because you guys come from and this is something that I don't get, but it sort of shows in the way that you act online, okay? Obviously, Explosive is a very, very talkative person. Everybody in Gears is the fucking point and talk shit. You're the guy that just sits there, right?
Yeah.
Do you have those moments where you get up and then you point at people, or few and far between?
I've never had that moment like on LAN or something. I kind of just like keep to myself and just focus. Like it's never over. Like even if I'm up 4-0, like going first to 5 in Gears, it's never over because I've been in those scenarios where I'm down 4-0 and we come back and win, and then like the other team's just like astonished now. Like now they're in their own heads. Like I was talking all this shit and now we lost. Now it's just not a good feeling. So like I just never been that guy. I just like to keep composed and just keep thinking next. Yeah. Like even after I win an event, it's like it's a good win, but like I want to win the next one, so I always just keep the eyes forward.
That's crazy, man. Again, when your boys are getting up there and you know getting the crowd riled up and then talking shit to the like I you know as a team owner, which I never ever point at anybody or talk shit like that. It kind of made me want to do it, right? It kind of wanted me to made me want to jump in with Gil, but Gil, get their ass, man. You know what I'm saying? Like scream, but. Obviously, you don't, and it reflects on the way that you act on Twitter, right? Like when everybody was talking shit, when everybody was fucking upset, when everybody was like had all their opinions formed about you before knowing you, before even researching you, before even giving you a shot to do something. A lot of people were talking shit. You said nothing. You said nothing. Why?
Honestly, it's just like it doesn't matter to me. Like I could be the best player in the world, and if they think I'm ass, then it's like I don't care. As long as I'm doing what I'm doing and like, just doing me, that's all that matters. And just looking like I said, just keeping my ass forward and just I want to be the best. Like I want to be the best Call of Duty player now. So if I'm not the best, then it doesn't really matter to me. They can talk all that shit, but I mean, I get it. I get their standpoint, all that. It's whatever. But I'm just here to play.
What point do you get?
I mean, I get the feeling like they want to be noticed and all that. So I get it. So it's like I can see a little bit more pressure on them. But at the end of the day, like if you're that good, you'll get your shot. And I think that's what they don't get, and it's honestly just coming down to mindset for them. I think what separates like the best from like amateurs is mindset, and I don't think all the amateurs have that mindset, and maybe some do, and those are the ones that get noticed. So
and you think that amateur mindset is something that people can grow out of the more that they concentrate on things. So you can't really blame them, right? Like, I mean, that's an amateur mindset, right? To be like, oh, somebody's taking my spot, where if this person didn't exist in this world, your spot would still be taken by somebody else and not you, right? So it ultimately, I mean, I think Zuma said it, that if you're good enough, you're going to be picked, the period, right? If you're a good teammate, if you have a good attitude, you're going to get picked. Now, I personally don't put a lot of weight into the way people act online. I don't mind if people talk shit online. I don't mind the way that a lot of people say that that organizations pay a lot of attention to the way that people act on Twitter and as long as you're not saying anything racist, anything homophobic, or anything like outlandish. Like, I don't give a shit if you're talking shit to other people, or if you feel entitled that you should have done something, or if you feel a certain way about something, right? Like, you can say whatever you want. That's your account. And sure, some listen, I'm not giving anybody a pass here. There are organizations that care about that, and they should. I just, it's just not me. I know that I'm not the perfect person. I know that I talk a lot of shit and I can't even back it up sometimes, right? In game, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So for me, it's like, people can talk their shit. That's never going to reflect badly, in my opinion. If I come across a player that Scump and company pick as one of the replacements for whoever, I'm not going to go and, look through shit. Like, I'm going to see whether or not they've been on the news for saying racist shit, or for saying, homophobic shit. Yeah, just outlandish shit. But aside from that, man, freedom of speech, do your thing. I'm indifferent either way. So I got to commend you, right? A lot of people were talking a lot of shit. And when I would see something like that, I would want to say something, but I'm like, that is not my fight. That's none of my business. But it got to the point to where I felt like I needed to make a video to sort of explain something to people. And the video did really well, right? A lot of people understood that you're just one dude that's trying to make a living a different way. What happened in Gears? Like, what made you say that, this esport that has given you so much, what made you say is like, all right, we've done a lot together. It's time for me to move on. Was it the viewership in Call of Duty? Because it sure as hell couldn't have been the money, because the money's there in Gears. What was the change that made you? Was it a personal challenge that you're like, you know what, I've done everything that I needed to do. It's time to move on to something else, new challenge.
I mean, I guess it's like money a little bit too, because the prize pool went down a lot. But at the end of the day, I just wasn't enjoying the games like I used to in the other Gears Wars. I feel like this new game, Gears 5, is very noob friendly, and there's just not that big of a skill gap, which I don't enjoy that much. Like, anybody could be really good at it. And on top of that, it's kind of weird, like, knowing, like, the viewers aren't there in Gears like they are in, like, Call of Duty or something. So, like, year by year or month by month, there's times where, like, I question, like, how much longer do I have in Gears, Like, and I just see Call of Duty, and I just see, like, a lot of growth in that every year, and, like, the longevity is, like, there for that. So I want to have a stable job and something I don't have to worry about, like, every other day or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, okay. Now, obviously, with Gears, the history's there. You've been playing it. That was like your first esport. Was it more about, if it wasn't the money and it's Call of Duty, something you see is that like the new personal challenge for you? Like, you got to win a championship here? Because if you look at Shotzzy year one, was Shotzi's this rookie year? Was that his rookie year? I think so. His rookie year, he comes in and wins a world championship, CDL world championship. Are you from that mentality where you're like, or do you, again, do what you said and just concentrate on you and what you can do? Or do you see that as a challenge that you got to beat?
I probably won't think too much of that. I mean, honestly, I want to win really bad at the same time, so that's the goal. But I just want to focus on getting better and becoming the best teammate possible in Call of Duty, and just learning the game, like the ins and outs of the game. So, but honestly, yeah, I want to win. That's all I want to do is win.
How far along have you gotten into? Like, have you played any AMs? When you play those challenges, are you constantly facing pros and challengers, or is that just other AMs that just like want to compete in this thing?
It's like a bunch of S&D stars. Like, I guess the people that grinded Black Ops 4 a lot. That even the kids like that won the Hecz throwback. I played them a few times. They're really good. I mean, I play against like the best S&D kids pretty much, and then like the Hecz throwback was the first time I played pros in a while, like on Call of Duty. How
did you guys do?
Well, we didn't do too well actually, the team and I. But I mean, personally, I feel like I played pretty good. We lost to Hook, Illy, Celium, and losers. And then that's about that. But that's the first time I played pros. But I feel like I can definitely hang with them.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, that's all I was like, I guess, testing myself that weekend for. But other than that,
You were just checking to see if you could shoot back.
yeah, I feel like I can definitely shoot back.
Yeah.
I think I had about 5K damage in a hard point. We lost 250 to 120, so like, that alone's like pretty good, I guess. But
yeah, is that going to be a challenge? Do you think? Like everybody talks about PC players who are going to be moving over to Call of Duty if Call of Duty ever goes to cross-platform and you're allowed to use a keyboard and mouse. One of the definite maybes is whether or not they're going to be able to keep up on respawns, because respawns, unlike any other thing that they've ever played, is not the same thing, right? Traditionally, everybody that's played Call of Duty professionally on PC, they all come from an S&D background, not necessarily a domination or hardpoint headquarters situation. So one of my bigger maybes is whether or not they're going to be able to keep up in the respawns, because there's a lot of intricacies to that, right? Like there are actual positions that need to be played. There are actually spawn systems that you need to be aware of. Is that the toughest part that you've had to get used to? Have you gotten used to it? How do you feel you're adjusting?
I feel like I've already been kind of used to that, but obviously I feel like I have work to do on that end. But coming from Gears, like escalations to the game mode is like kind of like domination. I guess it kind of got me ready for this. So honestly, I'm pretty familiar with hardpoint. The only thing I would have to be concerned of is like domination, which I don't even think is in the next Call of Duty competitively. So, but either way, I'm pretty comfortable with hardpoint. Control is pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty easy. And then search, I play a lot, so I feel like I'm pretty comfortable in the game modes. I just need to do a little bit better in the respawn side, and that'd be it.
Cool. Now, obviously, there was a lot of concern from everybody. Well, the majority of the people that were making talking points out about your situation is that, one, you haven't announced what team you're going to or whether or not you've actually been picked up, right? Like everybody, this is all speculation. I don't want you to answer this. It's none of my business, and this should be something that you announce on your own terms. But did it feel? Did you expect it to be as negative of a reception? You coming in here? Because I was actually like mind blown that people were just like, it's disrespectful to the AM scene to just let this dude just waltz on onto a team to compete, you know, like without going through challengers, without going through this thing. I personally saw it as like he decided at the right time for him to step into something. He has a good resume. Obviously a winning mentality. So for him to walk onto a team, not even as a starter, because I don't know if you would or wouldn't, but even if it was you, like you're not proven yet, right? So the risk is actually on the team, and the ton of pressure that goes to you is going to determine, and it's going to be another testament of your winning mentality, right? Because there's a lot of people saying negative shit, like how dare he just fucking come on here? Like, what do they expect, right? Like, everybody's job is always on the line. There's somebody in competition, whether it's games, whether it's video games or sports or anything. There's always someone nipping at your toes or your heels, trying to get in the position that you're in. That's what competition is, right? I've been competitive all my life, right? All my life has been. Everything's competition. I mean, even the art, my favorite art form is graffiti, which is the only art form I think in the world that's an actual competition to see who can paint more, to see who can have a different, a better wild style, a better 3D style, a better, like everything that I've done in my life has been competition. And when I knew that I didn't have the hand-eye coordination to be a professional player, then I focused myself on being the best CEO that I can be, the best team manager that I can be. And that has been my whole thing. My team has to be better than everybody else's. Like, my story has to be better than everybody else's. Now, is that the sort of mentality that you're approaching this thing? Because I sure as hell don't think that you were like, you know, I'm going to go into this fucking scene and disrespect everybody in there and just get in there. Of
course. That wasn't the plan. I wasn't trying to disrespect anybody. I didn't know what kind of feedback I was going to give with any kind of announcement. But, I mean, I guess we see now. But at the end of the day, like, I kind of just look at the support rather than the hate. And I mean, nothing gets to me either or, but yeah, honestly, that's where I'm at right now. I just got to keep my head down and play the game. Like, that's what they should be doing too. They shouldn't be worried about who got what. If their time's right, then they'll get the opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Well, you know, Shotzi coming. As you're saying that, I'm thinking about Shotzi, and when he came into the league, I don't remember anybody talking shit about him coming into the league. I do remember people talking shit about Formal, though. I do remember that, but that was Maven's fault, because Maven was so in love with Formal. You couldn't get Formal's earlobe out of I don't want to say dick, you know what I'm saying? So you couldn't get Formal's earlobe out of Maven's mouth. Like, he would just sing praises, everything. Whether he did something cool or not, like, Maven was all about him. So obviously, like, that was like, man, like this dude was hyping him up. Formal's biggest hype man was Maven at the beginning. And even I got annoyed. I'm like, yo, like, he's getting his ass beat, dude. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. But he saw what everybody else who have seen him play in Halo saw. That this dude is so good at aiming, so good at hand-eye coordination, that there's no chance that he doesn't become a top player. That's what they saw. I expect the same thing from a Simple, right? A Simple, a Shroud, if he decided to pick up a controller. Like, the aim is there, right? Aim and knowledge of the game is the ultimate divider, right? And let's say this. Let's say it wasn't whatever. Let's say it was me that picked you up. And let's say I just picked you up because I liked you. You represented my brand well. You won me a lot of championships. Let's just say that I picked you because you're my favorite person in the world. Do you think that when you get on main stage, my favoritism towards you is going to help you in any way? Or is it just going to be left up to you and your own devices?
It's going to be left up to me, honestly.
Right. So I don't understand where this whole thing comes from, where people get a little bit. Look, I understand. I get it. I get if you're putting your argument on the basis of whether or not you went through the appropriate challengers to do that, fine, have that conversation. But whether or not you deserve to be here or not means nothing to nobody, and it only means to those who are investing money in you, who are backing you in this decision, and you alone. Because at the end of the day, bro, like, let's say I gave you that shot and I paid you the money and I put you on the starter spot. If you shit the bed, that's on you. You're the one that's doing that, right? The safety net that comes with you, though, that other people don't have, is the fact that you can always go back to your main esport and continue to make money the way that you have in the past, right? So does that come into effect, or you're just like, that's the past?
Yeah, honestly, I'm looking at that's like the past. Like, no matter what, I'm gonna make in Call of Duty, and that's my mindset. So I'm just gonna keep playing that. I don't really have a back net in mind, honestly. I just want to keep doing what I'm doing in Call of Duty, and that's where I'm at with that.
What's been your practice approach to that? Is it all? Have you gone back to play this just as for fun, or are you playing anything else? Because I know you got a super high rank in Counter-Strike, right? Like on ESEA, how high did you get?
Like A rank, but I've been playing Valorant like on the downtime, which I got to like Immortal 3 Radiant. But
what's the highest rating?
Radiant is the highest.
Radiant?
Yeah, it goes Immortal. It goes all the way down, then Immortal 3, then Radiant. So I go from like Immortal 3 Radiant.
Okay, so you're just good at every point and shoot game. Have you tried anything else like League of Legends, Dota, or even StarCraft?
I mean, those games don't really interest me, but like more so just shooters, like first person. But like when I was making the decision to quit Gears, I actually had in mind maybe Valorant as well, but I play that on mouse and key as well, so I don't know. But Call of Duty, just something about it, I just want to play it. And that's what came down to the decision.
Tell me about that decision, man. Tell me about that. What made you, like, tell me every single step of what happened. Did you just win the last one and you were just like, yeah, it's time for me to move on? And like, what steps did you take to make that final decision that says, you know what, I'm going to risk it all and I'm going to go play Call of Duty?
Like I said, year by year, it just didn't look like it was growing as much as I wanted it to, so I just wasn't comfortable with the job I was having, I guess. And after the event, they announced like a 500K prize pool for a year, so which I wasn't really thrilled about that. And I was like, this might be the time, like, I'd make the switch. And if there's a better time, it's probably just now's the best time, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with that. And then it was between Valorant and Call of Duty, like I said. And
when you told your teammates, how did you approach that? What did you tell them? What did they say?
I mean, they were happy that I was doing, I guess, like, for me personally. I mean, I don't think they want to lose me as a teammate, but I think they knew it probably was best for me. So, I mean, that's where they are with that.
Yeah. How did you tell Gil? He had to have known though, right? Because you guys are super tight, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, we have like a group chat. Like, we're all really good friends in our group chat. So like when I brought it up, it was to everybody at first. Like everyone like found out at the same time. But I told them like I'm deciding. Like there's a roster lock for years. I was like, hey, if I get an offer for like Call of Duty or something like that before the roster lock, I'm gonna like make the switch. But we'll see. And then like as time went on, it was getting closer to the roster lock for Gears or whatever, and I still didn't have an offer. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I just want to make the switch. I want to do it, and I'm gonna take that chance. Like I'm gonna give up my job and go for what I want to do, and that's Call of Duty.
So were you prepared to go through challengers? Like when you said I'm just gonna do it, were you ready to do anything it took?
Yeah, I was prepared for anything. Like, it didn't matter. Like, starting from the bottom if I had to, all the way to the top, or, starting at the top. It doesn't matter to me. I just wanted to play and prove that I'm willing to put the time in and become the best COD player.
Cool. All right, we're going to take a little break. I'm going to say hello to the sponsors really quickly, and then we'll be back to ya. The first sponsor we got to give a shout out to is obviously the one that's always here every single time we do a podcast, and that is DoorDash. The reason that I like DoorDash is because it's something that I use on a daily basis. It's something that we use every single time we're creating content. Between the never-ending shoot this podcast here, get on a phone call over there, Matt, go do this, that title doesn't work, this one does, you did a good job on the thumbnail. You sometimes forget to order food. And you don't have time. I don't have time to go home and make it on my own. I'm not going to put Judith through that. She's not there to cook me food. She's there as my partner to offer advice and to give me love, okay? To do all the nice things that she does. So shout out to Jude while we're at it, gosh darn it, because she's the real sponsor for all this. But in the meantime, if you want Chinese or live in Jude Want Pizza and someone is craving froyo, there's something for everyone on DoorDash, okay? You can continue supporting the restaurants in your community safely. There are thousands of restaurants open for delivery on DoorDash that need your patronage now more than ever. Support your favorite restaurants on DoorDash, okay? Because DoorDash is the application that brings the food that you're craving to your door right when you order it. Give it a couple of minutes and it'll get there. Ordering is easy. You open your DoorDash application, you choose what you want to eat, and your food will be left safely at your door with the new contactless delivery drop-off setting. With over 300 partners in the U.S., Puerto Rico, Canada, and Australia, mate, you can order your local go-tos or choose from your favorite national restaurants like Chipotle, Wendy's, and the Cheesecake Factory. Most of the time, it's me ordering from Pollo Regio, which is super far away, but they make some carne asada, and they give you the little grilled toreado jalapeno peppers, and then they give you a little bucket of frijoles charros and a little bucket of rice. It's so good. Many of your favorite local restaurants are still open for delivery. Just open the DoorDash application, select your favorite local restaurant, and your food will be left safely at your door. Right now, our listeners can get $5 off and zero delivery fees on the first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash application and enter code Eavesdrop. Okay, that's $5 off and zero delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash application in the App Store and enter code EAVESDROP. Okay, one last time for those in the back, that's code Eavesdrop for $5 off your first order with DoorDash. It's got to be $15 or more. And like I always say, I don't trust any man or woman that orders food and it isn't more than $15. Live life to the fullest. Enjoy your food and be happy. And for the first time ever, for the first time stepping up to the plate and supporting the Eavesdrop podcast and your man's Hector Hecz, we have Full Sail University. As I explained earlier, like we actually won a tournament. Well, I'm sorry, we came close to winning a tournament there, but something very memorable happened. I can tell you one thing. Who won it? I only know because I was there. More people remember the optic van incident that happened with Killa, Nate Shot, and I was sitting there, I was yelling, and everything was happening, more than the people that actually won the championship. So there you go. Little moments here and there can carry you through. Either way, look, gaming and tech, that's something that we talk about here all the time. I mean, the Hecz Quarters alone is it's a habitat for technology, creativity, and online video game entertainment. Gosh darn it. And we talk about gaming and technology a lot on this channel, right? Not just on this channel, but everywhere that we produce content. But what if you were interested in actually creating your own vision of these products, whether it's creating a video game or advertising or, everything that you need to know in order to be a good participant of esports. Where do you start? Full Sail University offers bachelor's and master's degrees both on campus and online, that focus on the professional needs of the gaming and technology industries. That's important. Through hands-on accelerated programs, you can familiarize yourself with the same tools, software, and equipment used by industry professional. Okay, and with degrees from game design and game development to computer science, information technology, simulation, and more, there are a variety of programs offered to you to help you build your very specific skill sets. To learn more about Full Sail's programs as well as potential scholarship opportunities, do you think I could get a sponsorship, a scholarship? Yeah, right. Easy, man. Thank you. To learn more about Full Sail's programs as well as potential scholarship opportunities, visit fullsail.edu at fullsail.eavesdrop. That's fullsail.edu/eavesdrop. Huge shout out to you guys, man. I do appreciate it. I miss going to your facility to play some video games. That's actually the first time that I saw a fan not want an autograph for Nate Shot. And this was at the height of Nate Shot's thing. The story's for another time, but I've had nothing but good memories from Full Sail University. So I feel like things have come full circle for me because we were there one day, and then now they're sponsoring the podcast, so that's super, super cool. The last sponsor for this week is Hymns. Okay, and let me tell you a little bit about Hymns. And I've told you about Hymns before. I use it. I specifically use the lotion that they provide for these eyes and these crow's feet to not be a thing. Do you want to get smooth, buttery skin? Do you want to keep your hair as luscious as me? Look, it's easy. Okay, because you got to act before it's too late. By the time that you stop or that you start showing some of these effects, it might be a little bit too late. Okay, because 66% of men start to lose their hair by the age of 35. You're 22, you're 24. Matt, you guys got a couple of years. I mean, I'd be worried. Okay, once you've noticed thinning hair, it can be too late. Matt, thinning? It's not too late, Matt. Is that hairline slowly starting to move backwards, Billy? I don't think so. Any bald spots yet, Matt? He says no. The best way to prevent more hair loss is to do something about it while you still have some. Why do guys turn to weird solutions or do nothing when they can turn to medicine and science, right? 4hims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skin care, and sexual wellness for men. Matt, it's time to write a new chapter, one which you have hair. Okay, look, bottom line is this: there's no snake oil pills or gas station counters supplements. Okay, this is actual prescriptions backed by science, actual solutions backed by scientists. Hims was created by a guy who knows some men's health conversations are easier online than in person. No more awkward in-person doctor visits or long pharmacy lines. For Hims connects you to licensed medical professionals online, which could save you hours, completely confidential and discreet. Answer a few questions. A medical professional will review what you've answered and determine if a certain treatment is right for you. Can prescribe some of your medication to treat hair loss that's shipped right to your door in a privacy box, okay? And today, Hims is giving you their best offer yet. If you're not happy with your results after 90 days, Hims will give you a full refund. And right now, my listeners, the listeners of the Eavesdrop podcast, can get their first visit absolutely free. Go to 4hims.com/eavesdrop5. That's 4hims.com/eavesdrop5, the number 5, okay? This is saying, though, this is something that you guys got to pay attention to. You must include the following in order to receive a full refund of price paid available for the first 90 days supply. Refund requests must be made between 90 and 180 days after the product shipment was delivered. Prescription products require an online consultation with a medical professional who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See the website for full details and important safety information. I'm going to tell you one more time. Remember, that's 4hims.com. That's FORHIMS.com/EAVESDROP, followed by the number 5 to get your first visit absolutely free. So again, huge thank you to the sponsors, DoorDash, Full Sail, and Hims. All right, Billy. Is it William?
Nah, it's just Billy.
It's just Billy?
Yeah, just Billy.
What's do you have any middle name?
I mean, Wayne is my middle name.
And what's your last name?
Putnam.
Putnam.
And I'm a junior.
And you're a junior. So you're Billy Wayne Putnam Junior. I'm a junior too. Hector Raul.
Oh, really?
Rodriguez, yeah.
Okay.
Matt has 3 last names. Or 3 first names. Matt Cale Craig. That's his name behind the camera.
I like it. It's like Kenny's. Justin Michael Kenny. That's his name.
Yeah, Justin Michael Kenny. Yeah,
like
shout out to that
names.
dude, bro. I love that guy. All right, man. I mean, what are your expectations going into this thing? Obviously, a lot of eyes are going to be on you. And look, I'm gonna start this second half of the podcast by saying that I fucking called it. Right, I said that if I was coming into this league and I wasn't Hecz, and I wasn't Hecz, and I didn't have the following that I have, and I didn't have my scumper jumper, and I didn't have my team that I have now, and I'm just a brand new team like the LA Gorillas or the Seattle Surge, and I'm looking at the space, I'm picking one Call of Duty pro that I see has a good leadership potential, and then I'm picking the U's. I'm picking the lethal. I'm picking the explosive, the snake bites, the royals. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm picking these anomaly players from other teams that are just so separated from the pack, just from a winning mentality, because everybody can shoot straight. At that level, everybody shoots straight, and this is something that Scump tells me all the time, because I'm like, yo, is this guy good? Blah blah. He says, at this level, anybody can shoot straight and anybody can do this. It's the mentality and the defining moments that will separate the 1% from the top 1% of the 1%. So for me, it was a good leadership guy from Call of Duty, and then just 3 anomalies from other esports to come into this thing. It's surprising to me though that you said that you play Valorant on a keyboard and mouse, and that's normal to you, like that there was no adjustment period to
I mean, I think I was like 14. I started playing CS, and that's when I got used to the mouse and keyboard. So over time, it just came more natural. So,
and okay, so this is what confuses people, the people that aren't in the top 10%, or people that are about this sport or esports in general. It's once you know how to shoot, right? It's just a different mechanic that you're using. Is it easy for you? Is there an adjustment game that it takes for you to get back into the groove of things, or is it just as good, or is it just like you picking up just anything and being good at point and shooting?
Honestly, after a while, like mouse and keyboard just became natural. Like, so any game I played on like PC or something like that, it just seemed pretty natural. Like I said, CS is the game I started on PC, and then I went to like H1 and all that. So like over time, my aim just became better. And then like Apex I played, and I did really good in Apex. I even played like those big online tournaments. I got like top 6 or top 8 in one of them, in the pro one.
And it was your teammate's fault. No, I'm kidding.
I wish. But honestly, it just became more natural over time. So when I played Valorant, it felt like a little bit like CS, and then like just a first-person shooter, and just aim at the head and shoot. You know, pretty much that's it.
Pretty much it. What's easier in your opinion? Now that you've tried the Xbox controller, the PlayStation controller, and keyboard and mouse, what's the most natural fit to you? I mean, it's easy to say Xbox because that's what you've been playing. Yeah. But is it controller or keyboard is my question.
Probably controller still, but I do enjoy the mouse and keyboard a little bit more.
Yeah. Do you think that, obviously, as an outsider's perspective, do you think that current Call of Duty pros would have an easy time transition to keyboard and mouse if it ever went down to that?
I think it depends on like everybody. Like if they've never picked up a mouse, I think it would be really hard. If they've played like here and there, like over time, like I could see it being easy for them, but it just depends if you ever play on the mouse and keyboard. I think it takes a while to learn it though, like a few months, maybe like 6, I would say 6 to a year, to get really like a good feel of it. But it's not something you can just pick up and like be really good at like the first month.
Yeah, I mean, if I look at, and this is what confuses me about people that are like, oh, keyboard and mouse is gonna come in here and fucking dominate, like all these pro players from other teams are gonna. Clayster, Crimsix, Scump, Formal, I mean, you name it. These are all players from Call of Duty that are controller-centric first, that have been able to play ESEA to a high rank on Counter-Strike. So I don't understand where this whole myth comes from that, obviously that these... Obviously, well, for me... It's easier to use a keyboard and mouse because you're using more of your digits, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Right? You're using all 5 fingers on one hand instead of just 3, because this is what you use when you're shooting or you're paddle jumping and you're controlling. So 6 fingers in comparison to a total of, even call it 8, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, it's like, okay, that's easier to do, right? There's more opportunity for you to be able to have more dexterity on the things that you're doing on the keyboard and commands that you're giving your character. So I get that point. So I get why people say that people who have been playing only on PC for like their entire lives it's going to be an easy transition for them to come in and compete. But I've seen Scump play against people on a keyboard and mouse, and Scump is still Scump. There's really no, and Nate said it too in our podcast. I'm like, there's really in the podcast. There's really no like true advantage, right? There's anomaly players in every single esport, just period. That's just the way things are, right? Mm-hmm. But I do think that given the opportunity to compete, I do think that players that exist today who do play on keyboard and mouse, they will be able to keep up. I don't see a scenario in which they don't, man, personally.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I'm thinking Fortnite, Apex, even like there's like a controller player on each team. Like controllers like really good still. Like even if like PC players switched, I could see like the same pros in Call of Duty being the same top pros. You know, I don't see like a PC player unless it's like somebody like Shroud or something like that come in and like take the number one spot. You know what I mean? So that's the way I'm looking at it. Kind of. Controller's still kind of dominant.
Yeah,
I think they dominate esports still.
Yeah,
like, in a way.
Look, people are gonna say aim assist, right? Well, that's the first thing.
Yeah, I mean, aim assist is kind of like huge factor, but there's something about the mouse and keyboard you get. Like when you get a mouse, like you just like this more precise aim. It's kind of easier to aim with the mouse and keyboard, but with controller, it's a little bit harder. But with the aim assist, it makes it a little bit easier. But at the end of the day, I still think controller's more dominant.
Yeah. So looking at the future and looking at this, like what's your expectation for this year?
For Call of Duty, I just want to be the best I can and be the best teammate. Essentially, just work my way up in the field and just honestly start winning. Like hopefully win challengers or something like that, and then make my way to the big leagues and then like win that. So about a year span I'll give myself. I hope I'm like the very top by then, but if not, I'll just keep grinding and keep doing my thing. But at the end of the day, I just want to become the best I can, like take it day by day.
Call of Duty obviously like Gears depends on a lot of the people that you team up with. Is that something that you pay close attention to? This is what I'm saying. You're gonna be in a position to face everybody that's been sort of having their opinions about you without you knowing. You're no stranger to people yelling at you. You know what I'm saying? This isn't. If anything, you're more well equipped to face that sort of wrath from someone screaming at you than anybody else in Call of Duty, period. Right? You play Gears of War, which is the most confrontational. Back in the day, fights used to fucking break out. Right? Like with when there were fucking actual goons fucking playing this shit, right?
Yeah.
The Nick Mercs and all the old dudes from afar. That's why Diesel was so into that shit. Big fucking tall dude just fucking heading in there and just throwing bows, right? So are you looking forward to that? Is that something that you think of, or is it like whoever you play?
I mean, I don't see anybody like in the Call of Duty scene being as like aggressive or confrontational as like the Gears players.
Yeah. Like
at the end of the day, the Gears players are the Gears players. Like,
because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna interrupt you, bro. Because I would make a fucking list. I would fucking I do that now. Like people talk shit, I screenshot that shit just in case I ever. I have a list of why I block people. You know what I'm saying? So in alphabetical order. So if somebody goes in my stream and is like, hey, this is my if I stream. If somebody comes in and say, hey, you blocked me on Twitter, I don't know why. And I'll be like, what's your Twitter account? What's your Twitter name? And then I'll be like, all right, cool. I'll pay attention to everything. Yeah, he was being racist.
Exactly.
Right? You can't do that, right? You can't call me a beaner because it's fucking crazy. That happened once, and I couldn't believe that he didn't remember that he did that, right? So I'm also very good at just muting people. But I have a list. Right? Do you not like look at people who are talking shit? I'm like, oh, I can't wait to play this motherfucker. Because I would. I'd be like, ooh.
I guess if it's like super, like, I don't know, outlandish, like I'd be like, okay, I'll keep an eye. I still don't really block anybody, but my mentality is like, I kind of just kill them with kindness and just prove myself in game. Let the sticks do the talking. And then you'll be surprised. Like a lot of the haters become like supporters by the end of like the year or something.
Yeah,
so
they want a team and shit.
Yeah, like I've already seen like people talk all this shit on Twitter and then they like they're just all cool all of a sudden. Like they just follow me randomly on Twitter, or like I'll see in the stream like these Twitch chatters talking shit, and then like I play really good and a Hecz throwback, and you see them all like praising me now. It's like it's weird. I just expect them to be like my supporters eventually. That's all I want to do. Yeah,
that's dope, man. Again, and you can't blame them, right? Like they see some hot shot kid coming from a different esport, thinking they're just gonna come in and dominate. You can see why there's reluctance in people's minds and saying just, you're welcome with open arms. So I get that mentality too, and I think that look. You know what's crazy? As I'm saying that, a thought popped in my head. I remember clearly feeling the same way that some of these people feel when Activision was super, super, super on all these big orgs' nuts. They were like, oh, yeah, we want people like Cloud9 in here. We want people like TSM. And we want people like that. That'd be really cool if we have these big... And I was like, whoa. We've been here for fucking 10 years. Right. You showed zero fucking support. And now you're kissing the ass or showing preference to other people. Like this was call it 5 years ago,
No.
right? Like when EG stepped in, everybody said, "Oh my God, EG is fucking here. They're they're an actual company. They're not like Optics. See, Optics big, but they're not a real company." That was Golden Boy, by the way. I love Golden Boy. That's my boy. But he was one of those dudes that was just like straight kissing ass, like, "Oh my God, it's so good because now you're gonna see a real company step in here and really show like what they got." And like, look, I'm not taking shots at Optic or any of the other orgs that are here, but EG is an actual business. I'm like, how do you know how much money I'm making as a business? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
shut your ass up. Love you, Golden Boy. You're my boy. You hope to have you on the podcast one day so you can clear that shit up. But anyway, I felt the same way when people were like hyping up other organizations coming in here. When I've been in here busting my ass, making sure that there's viewerships that coming in, make sure there's storylines coming in, I got a little bit offended. So now that I've gone through that, why are you here, man? I'm kidding.
But yeah, like you get to see like the haters turn to supporters, and I've already been through it. Like when I started playing Gears competitively, like I used to be like a little bit more immature and just talk all my shit back and just get like aggressive on it. But at the end of the day, you kind of just like you learn the more you like play competitively. Like it's like nothing you can do about it. Like it's a never-ending conversation if you try to fight back. Like at the end of the day, you just got to prove yourself.
Every single day.
Yeah, literally.
That's insane. So tell me about the Valorant thing. What about that game made you want to play it? What is it that attracted you to that?
It was like a new esport, right? Like it had really high expectations from Riot, and it wasn't a battle royale. So like I don't see the RNG in it. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I want to be really good at this game. Like it's new. Like everybody has a fair shot at it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick it up, and I grinded it for like the first couple months, and I got really good at it. Like I play at like the highest rank, and I play against pros, play with pros all the time. So like from CS or even Valorant now. So it was just really fun.
Was there ever a conversation about you actually teaming up with some of these pros from Counter-Strike, or was it? Because I see that as a close-knit community. No matter where you go, it's a friendship league. No matter where you go, it's a friendship league. It's who you know that's going to get you into these things, right? Is it like that, or did you actually get did you get into discussions with other pros from CS to say, hey, you should team in Valorant?
Not really, but a few of us follow each other back, and they kind of like know my name from ranked and all that. But at the end of the day, PC doesn't respect Council as like Council like does with like Gears or COD or Halo, all that. So I don't really know any of them, so I didn't really hitting them up. I just kind of try to make a name for myself in the ranked, and there's a lot of good players in ranked. So, I mean, yeah.
Is there a path to pro in that scene like that? Like, do you think that if you continue to do what you're doing on Valorant, that you'd be able to get recognized enough to where somebody's going to pick you up? Or do you think that in scenarios like that, it's who you know and making the right networking decisions?
I guess it goes both ways. Like if I just like kept competing in Valorant and like I met these people and I like kind of saw like a lot of talent in them, I would play with them and like we kind of make a team and try to build our way up. So like we'd play these open invitationals and try to make invitationals, right? And then make a name for ourselves then, and then like you get to know more people. So honestly, yeah, there is some friendships you can do, but at the same time, you don't really need that. Like you just prove yourself. Like when your time's coming, like you know what I mean. So like at the end of the day, like if you're the best, like you're gonna get an opportunity. So that's my mindset on that.
Are you good at telling people they're not good enough to be on your team, or how does that discussion go? Because at the end of the day, it is a team sport, and unless everybody's on the same page, and more important, if you are really good at the game but you're a fucking asshole and nobody wants to team with you, that also comes into play. So how do you go about those decisions? Like I'm talking Valorant specific. Like how do you continue to cycle through players until you land on the team that's actually going to make a difference in competition?
Well, with my experience, I kind of get a feel of like attitudes on people. Like if we're down like 3-0 or something like that, 4-0 off rip, and like their attitude is just shit, and like they're just complaining, like I don't want to play something like that. I want someone that is never going to give up or has a really good attitude, you know. So that goes a far way. And then plus like the talent in them. If I see them in a clutch situation mess up really bad, it's whatever. Like, but if they consistently do it, you know, they don't really perform well under pressure. Like you kind of get the feels of the teammates you play with at the end of the day. So if I team with someone and I thought they're really bad, like I want to play with them. Like simple as that. You got to look out for yourself sometimes too. Yeah. And then just rebuild from there, if anything.
So obviously you you abandoned Gil. No, I'm kidding. Do you see other pros from other? Obviously, like I think that now more than ever, especially with the support that Call of Duty has gotten, I think that a lot of console pros are sort of like, I mean, if you think about Snakebite, right? Like Snakebite is also looking to make a little bit of a change because he doesn't know when what does anyone know when Halo's gonna start? Like no one. I was like, so what do you do, right? Like, what do you do in situations like that where you want to play the esport that you want, but the esport isn't necessarily there for you to support you and your aspirations? Because I can imagine that if they would have kept the same price, then you would have just continued to do your own thing. Or do you think that you have accomplished so much in this that you would have just chosen Call of Duty anyway?
I didn't really give it too much thought, I guess, about that. I don't know. Honestly, that's like, I probably still would have wanted to make the switch to Call of Duty eventually. I really do enjoy watching the game and playing it. And there's just something about it. I want to be in those certain scenarios and clutch situations and like that main stage that they get. So,
yeah.
I mean, I do want to, would have been now to make the switch if Gears had a lot of money in it. I don't know, but now's the time. So
yeah,
that's all I'm looking at.
It doesn't matter. You're right. Yep. It does not matter. So do you see other people moving on to different esports? Like, I don't know. With now, and again, this is what I was trying to say. With the path that people like Formal, Shotzi, Enable, Hook, you name it, anybody else that I forgot, I'm sorry, that they've shown, like, do you see more people be more willing to step out of their comfort zone and show up into a different esport?
I do, actually. There's more Halo players and even some Gears players that want to make the switch. Like, World Championship, World Champion, who was teammate with Shotzi, Renegade. I'm cool with him, and he was going to be my teammate in Challengers, or might be. So, I mean, he's really good actually at Call of Duty himself.
Yeah.
Snakebite, like you said, might want to make the switch. Neptune, who's been grinding a lot, he's really good at Call of Duty. And even like Gears players like Lava wants to make the switch. Shock. And Precision or something like that. So there's a lot of players that are actually willing to make the switch now. And I think now's the best time, especially where Call of Duty's at and the other two console games are right now. Call of Duty's definitely in the move. And I think more people are starting to realize that. Yeah. Like the longevity in Call of Duty is just up there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Ignore the garbage guy that's coming in here.
Fine.
He makes fucking noise all the time. Gotta do his job, Matt. Don't get mad, Matt. You know what I want to see, Matt? What I want to see this year, Billy, is I want to see as many people as, like, I want to see, look, and I don't want to say this obviously because it sounds different coming from a person like me, but I want to see more Gears of War players. Like, I want to see a team full of Gears of War players. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to see these guys in the challenger floor just fucking mopping the floor with some, you know, with other challengers and getting beat too. Like, I'm not favored for any, but I do want to see them like fucking bring that swagger to Call of Duty that Call of Duty needs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want to see that, man. I want to see that them hype moments, just pointing at people. I want to see explosive say these lights do things to people. Coming in here with his chains, like fucking 14 championship rings from a different esport. I came to take your rings too, motherfucker.
I've been telling him to make the switch too. He'd be really good at Call of Duty. Him and I competed together in like AW, and there's actually a lot of talent in Gears. So I could see like a lot of Gears players like doing really well in Call of Duty. I mean, Gears is like a hard shooter. You know what I mean? Yeah. So honestly, I could see them doing really well in Call of Duty. They would just have to like make the full switch, which I think some are scared to do. Yeah, and that's the problem.
Do you think it's a salary thing, or what do you think it is?
Well, a little bit. I guess they're making incoming Gears, like most pros, obviously. So they don't want to give that up and take the chance on Call of Duty. And like Gears isn't like as big, so like their connections aren't there as well. So like, I get it. It's a little scary, but I mean, you just gotta do it sometimes. And that's where they're at, though. And there's a lot of talent in Gears, though.
All right, man. Listen, I want to hear some final thoughts from you, just from a winning perspective. What does it take, right? People that watch this play this casually, play Call of Duty casually, play video games casually, but there are some out there that feel that they are above average. What's the sort of advice you would give to aspiring pros?
Just keep grinding. Just have the right attitude, and as time goes, I hope they like mature more and like just gain more experience and like a better mindset overall. Because at the end of the day, like, a lot of people like are really good at the game. Like, they could all shoot, but it's just about having a winning mentality, and that's just doing the right things, being the right teammate, and being the best teammate possible. Because without teammates, you can't win. So at the end of the day, you have to have the right teammates and surround yourself with good teammates, and be that good teammate, so you don't have to be, you know, get dropped or something like that, and just keep grinding. Honestly,
is that the approach that you take?
Yeah, for the most part. I don't want to play with anybody that's like very naggy or something like that, or shit attitude, because it's no fun, and without having fun, like, it's gonna be hard to win. And that's always been like my mentality in that, like, gears. Like, I try to have fun, because if you're having fun, you play better, and I truly believe that.
It's perfect ending, man. Thanks. Dude, I want you to, all right, mark the time, Matt, okay? We are, I think, 4 weeks after roster lock, just season 1 of just ended. I want to have the same conversation with you at the end of next season, man. I want to sort of revisit the same conversation and see the waves that you've been making. I'm obviously going to be paying close attention to you, because I've always paid close attention to my ex-teammates. And I wish you nothing but the best, man. I truly do. I want you to prove people wrong, but above all, I just want you to continue to be you and just care about yourself and you winning, care about your teammates and your org the way that you have. You're an exemplary competitor, and I'll always speak well of you no matter what situation I'm in. Even when you play against us, if you play against us, I'm still going to be rooting for you.
I appreciate that.
I don't know how that works, but I'll make it happen, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. See you in 1 year. Well, I'll see you more, but
I'm looking forward to it.
in this thing,
Yeah.
1 year.
Let's do it.
No, you can't have any of your trophies that you won. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is episode 72. Again, one last shout out to DoorDash, Full Sail University, and of course, for Hymns.